Welcome to part 2 of Judea origins. Last time, we covered the origin story of the Judeans, primarily using their own religious texts, like the Torah. We began with Abraham and progressed to the time of the Exodus out of Egypt and the establishment of the Hebrew law. We will continue that narrative in this video. For many centuries, the Israelites struggled between conquering and surviving within this land. Joshua, the successor of Moses, led the conquest of the Promised Land, also known as Canaan. One of his most legendary battles was his assault on the ancient walled city of Jericho, the world's oldest continually inhabited city. The 12 tribes, as they were called, functioned as a confederation and were led by judges. These judges were temporary rulers, adjudicators, champions, and military commanders who led the 12 tribes during critical times in their early history. Think of Deborah, Gideon, and Samson. This form of government lasted until the time of the monarchy, with Saul being chosen as Israel's first king and anointed by the renowned prophet Samuel at Gilgal. After Saul died at the hand of the Philistines, David, a shepherd boy made military commander, became the next king. Hailing from the tribe of Judah, David greatly expanded the borders of Israel, not only putting an end to the war with the Philistines, Israel's greatest foe, but also finally conquering the Promised Land and beyond. He also founded a capital for his kingdom named Jerusalem, colloquially called the City of David, whose ancient remains can still be seen in modern-day Jerusalem, some 3,000 years later. Continuing this golden age of ancient Israel, his son Solomon substantially enriched the kingdom through lucrative trade relations with neighboring nations and empires, putting Israel on the map of the ancient world. This significant economic boom allowed him to commission lavish building projects, like for instance, the first temple to Yahweh. This extravagantly adorned sanctuary within Jerusalem came to be known as Solomon's Temple, which housed the Ark of the Covenant and other holy items that had previously been stored in the tabernacle. However, this golden age came to an end under the unpopular reign of his son and successor, Rehoboam. An elite named Jeroboam rallied opposition against the Davidic line and led a succession of 10 of the 12 tribes from the kingdom. This new breakaway kingdom in the north has been referred to by various names, like Israel, the northern kingdom, and also Samaria, while the 2 tribes remaining in the south, under the line of David, became known collectively as Judah. This era in ancient Jewish history is called the divided monarchy or the divided kingdom. Although both of these kingdoms fought each other off and on, their real threat was the up-and-coming Assyrian Empire to the northeast. The northern kingdom of Israel lasted for 200 years, with their capital of Samaria falling in 722 BC to the Assyrians under Sargon II, and a substantial portion of their population being deported and resettled, never to return. These are known as the 10 lost tribes. Assyria, under King Sennacherib, attacked Judah as well, totally annihilating their forces and enslaving their city's population at the infamous siege of Lachish, the second largest city in Judah after Jerusalem. However, Jerusalem, under King Hezekiah, did not fall to the Assyrians in 701 BC, since the foreign army contracted a mysterious plague. Nevertheless, a century and a half later, Judah finally fell, but it wasn't to the Assyrians. A new empire was now looming on the horizon, the Second Babylonian Empire, also known as the Chaldeans, who had taken advantage of a power vacuum left by Assyrian instability back in Mesopotamia. Prior to their downfall, Judah had been a tributary state to Babylonia. However, after failing to continue their payments and plotting to ally against Babylon, in 586 BC, the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar sacked Jerusalem, destroyed Solomon's temple, and exiled the people of Judah to Mesopotamia. These 70 years in exile have been dubbed the Babylonian captivity. In the next video, we will look at the Jews' return to Judea, or Judea, as the Greeks and Romans referred to it. We will examine how this people had to navigate between maintaining their own cultural identity and assimilating with the dominant culture of the Greco-Roman world, sometimes even forcibly. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.